Before funk had a name, before the slap bass became a language, one man changed the sound of music forever. His bass didn't just keep time, it spoke. From the streets of Oakland to the world stage, he turned rhythm into revolution and built a foundation that funk, R&B, hip hop, and modern pop still stand on today. This isn't a story of a bassist, this is the story of how funk was born. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Larry Graham. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. If you guys would love to connect with me outside of YouTube, then I am officially announcing that I am on Discord. Here, you can provide me with feedback on my recent uploads. You could drop your suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to chat it up about videos or about music in general, or just about anything, we could do it here. We could do it together. I hope to see you there. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Larry Graham Jr. was born on August 14, 1946 in Brumont, Texas. He was raised in Oakland, California, where music, community, and spirituality shaped his earliest years. His mother, Dale Graham, was a gospel singer and pianist, and young Larry was surrounded by church music, learning rhythm before he understood theory. At the age of 5, he began preparing for his future as a performer by learning how to tap dance, and shortly after, he began taking piano lessons. In junior high, he joined the school band and played the drums until high school. However, at the age of 11, his father gave him his own personal guitar since his father decided that he wasn't going to perform anymore. Larry taught himself how to play. In that same year, he started his professional music career with his first band. At the age of 13, he made his first recording. By his teen years, he could play a variety of instruments including the drums, piano, guitar, bass, and harmonica. At the age of 15, he joined his mother's band, the Dale Graham Trio. His mother performed piano while he played the guitar, and his friend, Reuben Kerr, drummed. Around this time, one of the nightclubs that they frequently performed at had a house organ that was equipped with bass pedals. Larry trained himself how to play the bass pedals while simultaneously playing the guitar and singing. One night, the organ broke down, leaving the band without the bass sound that they became accustomed to. Larry borrowed a St. George bass until the organ was fixed. Larry's mother decided to turn their trio into a duo, with just the bass and the piano. Larry compensated for the lack of the bass drum by thumping the strings and plucking the snare drum. When he started doing this, he wasn't bothered about playing the correct way since this was only temporarily. But unfortunately, the organ was beyond repair, and that is how the slap bass was invented. The slap bass wasn't planned, it was discovered. By treating the bass like a drum, Larry unlocked an explosive sound that was never heard before. The thumb became the kick of the drum, and the pop became the snare. This technique gave funk its heartbeat. Within a few years, the bass would no longer hide in the background. It would lead the groove. In the late 60s, Larry joined Sly and the Family Stone, which was one of the most groundbreaking bands in American music history. Songs like Thank You and Everyday People didn't just sound different, they felt different. Larry's bass was aggressive, melodic, and unapologetic. It didn't support the groove, it drove it. Funk had officially arrived. Sly and the Family Stone performance at Woodstock wasn't just historic, it was transformational. Millions saw funk in real time, and Larry Graham's bass shook the stage, changed expectations of what an instrument could do. Funk became a voice for unity, rebellion, and self-expression. The bass was now front and center. After many years of tension between Graham and Sly Stone, Larry left the Family Stone in 1972 after allegedly a post-concert brawl broke out between Graham and Sly. For more information about Sly and the Family Stone, then I highly suggest you checking out my tribute video to them. In the early 70s, Larry left Sly and the Family Stone and started to produce a band that was named Hot Chocolate, which he eventually joined and renamed them Graham Central Station. Here, he fully unleashed his vision. Hits like Hair, Can You Handle It, and Pow showcased funk in its purest form that was driven by bass, powered by rhythm, and fueled by joy. Larry wasn't just a bassist, he was a band leader. Graham Central Station was a purest expression of Larry Graham's funk vision, and one of the most influential bands of the 70s. The band blended raw funk energy with tight musicianship, gospel-rooted vocals, and positive messages. The sound pushed funk towards a heavier, more bass-driven future, directly influencing artists in R&B, hip-hop, and pop. The band's impact can be heard in the work of countless of musicians who adapted the slap bass and groove-led arrangements, cementing Grand Central Station as a cornerstone in funk history and a critical bridge between 1970s funk and modern rhythm-based music. Now, for more information about Grand Central Station, then I highly suggest you checking out my tribute video to them. Larry began his solo career in 1979 and rose to prominence with his deep songs. In 1980, he published the album One in a Million. And the title track wasn't just a top 10 smash, it became one of the most popular romantic songs. Larry was also nominated for a Grammy Award for Best R&B Vocal Performance. In 1981, Larry released another album titled Just Be My Lady. This album became another hit. Then, in 1982, he released Sooner or Later, which this album debuted to enormous success. Larry released another album titled Victory in 1983, followed by Fire Up, that was released in 1985. He then recorded a duet with Aretha Franklin in 1987 titled If You Need My Love Tonight. Larry then collaborated with his friend, comedian and singer Eddie Murphy to form the band Psychedelic Soul. This band toured the United States and Europe. In 1998, he released a solo album that was titled Grand Central Station GCS 2000. Larry Graham and Prince collaborated, while Graham composed of all the songs with the exception of one that was co-written by Prince. Prince co-arranged and co-produced the album, and Graham and Prince recorded the majority of the instruments and vocals on the album. One of Larry Graham's greatest proteges was the icon Prince. Prince didn't just admire Larry, he studied him. Prince studied Larry's slap bass technique, rhythm aggression, and fearless approach to groove, drawing directly from his work with Sly and the Family Stone and Grand Central Station. Beyond technique, Larry showed Prince that funk could be spiritual, bold, and uncompromising, blending raw rhythms with individuality and confidence. Their collaboration in the late 90s and early 2000s reflected a deep mutual respect, with Prince often acknowledging Graham as a mentor who helped him understand funk as a living force rather than a genre. Larry's influence could be heard in Prince's bass-heavy arrangements, percussive guitar style, and his belief that grooves to lead a song, a philosophy that became central to Prince's sound and legacy. In the mid-70s, Larry Graham collaborated with Betty Davis, who was once married to Miles Davis. Graham's slapping style was later used by artists such as Bootsy Collins, Prince, Les Claypool, Bernard Edwards, Louis Johnson, Mark King, Kenny Burke, Victor Wooten, Kim Clark, Flea, Marcus Miller, and Stanley Clark. Larry's fingerprints are everywhere. In 1975, Graham became a Jehovah's Witness. He is credited with introducing Prince to the faith. Despite his success, Larry Graham remained deeply spiritual. His faith influenced his music. His faith influenced his music, leadership styles, and personal philosophy. For him, funk wasn't just a sound, it was energy, community, and upliftment. He believed that music could heal, unite, and empower. Many bases are great, few are fundamental. Larry Graham didn't just improve the bass, he redefined it. Every slap, pop, groove, and funk rhythm traces back to his innovation. Without Larry Graham, funk wouldn't exist as we know it. In 1993, Larry was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Sly and the Family Stone. In 2001, he received the Rhythm and Blues Pioneer Award. And in 2020, he was ranked number 7 on Rolling Stone's list of 50 greatest bassists of all time. Larry is also the uncle of 5-time Grammy Award-winning rapper Drake. Today, Larry Graham's influence live on in modern R&B, hip-hop sampling, pop bass lines, and live performance culture. His sound continues to inspire musicians across generations and genres. The groove never stopped, it just evolved. Larry Graham didn't play the bass, he changed music. And every time the funk hits, his spirit is still in that groove. As I always state, I love to give flowers to my legends while they can still smell them. Now, before we go, I have a few questions for you all. What is your favorite song by Larry Graham? Also, who do you believe is the greatest bassist of all time?